Hi there, and today we're going to construct an angle of 60 degrees and an equilateral triangle. So we construct 60-degree angle first because it's usually the easiest one for people to grasp, and then we use it. I use it right after for equilateral triangles because we know the equilateral triangle is a triangle that has 60 degrees, right? Because it has to have the same angle, same side length. So, and we may be used to construct other angles as well. So we can construct 30 degrees by doing an angle bisector, so we'll do that next in the next video. But let's get going with the 60 degrees, because it's actually not that difficult if you've understood how to do the other bisectors already. So here we're going to place our compass on the page, because we just had to draw a line, and we're constructing an angle of 60, because that line that we have there will be one of the two lines where our angle meets. Now we're going to place our compass on the page, and we're going to draw a nice big arc. Okay? Nice and big. So since we want 60, make sure it's at least to 60, which is somewhere around there. So I always say, hey, just draw the bigger the better. If we don't use it, we don't use it. Now, where do you think we're going to put the compass? Normally we were putting it on the other endpoint. However, for the 60-degree angle, we're just going to put it on the arc and the line where they meet. Okay? So, I now want to draw another arc and meet it up with that arc we already have. So, I want it meeting right there. I need those two lines to touch because we are almost actually done. We've done everything we have to do with the compass. Now we have to connect our line up to that point. And that is actually going to be 60 degrees. So we can write that in and 60. If you don't believe me, grab your protractor and check. So I'm going to leave that there for a second so you can check your work. Look at the steps because I know that all the steps weren't visible while I was going through the example. And some people quite like the reading out the steps when they go back and check them. Okay, so if you need to keep copying them, go ahead and do so. So example 2, we're now going to construct an equilateral triangle. So how do we do that? Well, I kind of alluded to it before. So if you're stuck about or having difficulties with the 60-degree angle, what I want you to do now is go and practice a couple before you have try on this example. Okay, so I've extended it here. What I'm going to do is draw my nice big arc, right? And that'll be my first. I'm going to go ahead, do the same for this endpoint over here as best I can. And I'm doing it in a different color. You don't have to. I'm just doing it so it could help me. Okay? So we have to kind of stop there because we don't have anything else we can do at the moment. Can't do a third one because we only have 2 endpoints. So here, we want to find where our blue and blue is going to intersect. And then over here, I'm going to do the same for my red. Okay? So, let's connect our lines and see what we get. So here, connect from there, and here, we can connect to there. Notice, we didn't actually have to do a third one because, well, if we have 60 degrees and 60 degrees, that's 120, and our other angle has to therefore be 60. So the best option for you now is you can go back and check each and every angle, because checking one just means that that one is correct. So checking any 2 would give you the correct. And typically, what most people allow is a plus or minus 1 to 2 degrees in variance. So that means if you have anywhere from, if it's plus or minus 1, 59, 60, or 61, those will all be acceptable. or any decimal answers in between. Or if it's plus or minus 2, well, then it's down 58 to 62. And it's more often than not, it's plus or minus 2 degrees when anytime we're doing with drawings. So, now, for practice for you is the following. So, 1, draw a line and construct a 60-degree angle. 2, draw a 5 centimeter long line and label it AB. Construct a 60-degree angle at either end so that the lines will intersect and form an equilateral triangle. And then part B is I want you to actually measure all your sides and angles to make sure they're accurate. So yours will be different than mine, but yours should all match. Okay, so pause the video now, and then we'll go through the answers when you're ready. Okay, so first thing we have to do with constructing an angle is, well, we want to draw a line. I'm going to draw a nice, really skinny line this time. I've been using rather thick ones. It has been a little bit more inaccurate than I would actually hope. So, now we've placed it on one tip of the line, correct, and extend it out. I'm going to extend it quite far, just because hopefully it can improve the accuracy. Same thing when we extend it out far, right? It's the same reason that with graphs, why we make our graphs within a suitable axes, right? So you wouldn't put your axes number up to 100 on a graph when we only are plotting the values 1, 2, and 3. Same thing here. We wouldn't draw an arc that's super tiny if we're trying to draw a big drawing, because it wouldn't be less accurate when it eventually hits our diagram later on. So, anyways, back to the task at hand. Let's put it on our little point here, and we can draw where our arcs meet. Lastly, we're just going to connect our lines. Okay, so we're done, and as always, I know I've been a little bit lax with the last couple of questions. Draw in your little angle that you've done. That way the reader knows that, hey, those two lines are actually indicating an angle. Because some people can be a little fussy. Also, when you go back to study or review your work, you can kind of see how to proceed. And again, and you don't have to completely relearn something. Okay, so a little bit more involved of a question. It might actually be a little bit harder for some people if you found the equilateral triangle easier. This is actually requiring that you look at your measurements and pay really close attention. Because, notice how in that first step, I said draw a 5 centimeter long line. So the reason I said 5 centimeters is because when you check at the end, we hope that your other measurements will be 5 centimeters as well. So that's why if you did not do it to 5 centimeters at the get-go, well, they should just line up with your values. So there we go. Mine's a little bit off 5 centimeters, but technology sometimes can be a hindrance more than a helper. Okay, so I'm going to shrink my compass points a bit, and actually, well, I can change the thickness of my line. I'm going to be measuring mine after, and I want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. So first thing, draw one of our arc lines, right? And apologies, just going to do that. So we can draw our one arc line. Now, switch it over and draw that. Right, so that's one done. Next, we're going to switch over, use a different color. For me, you probably are trying these one at one and connecting them, which is actually a better method. I am opting for doing them both at the same time because of ease of using this compass. So there we go. And put it on this point. And there we go. So we have our intersection points. So last thing we can do is we can draw from our ends to our one intersection, and then from our other end through to our other intersection. So, as you can tell, mine's a touch off now. So try and be as accurate as you can. We're going to measure these so you can see what kind of difference it means. So we're going to grab our ruler at this point because we're done. We're done our question A. So as best we can. Notice that I'm using my ruler and has the actual angle on it. So I'm going to use it to check my angle. Because if my line lines up, well, it looks like I'm a little bit off, right? Let's see how much my drawing was off, right? So mine looks like it was off 1 degree. And how long is it? Well, it's about 5. So that's good. And since our first one was 5, we have actually checked 2. But I want to see, just out of curiosity for my own, I have it set at 60, so it should line up. And it looks like this one lines up better than the other one. So it means that our starting point, right, was probably a bit off, and that's what actually hurt us. But now let's see how long it is, and it is indeed 5 as well. So that you could check, and then when you're doing a check after you've done it, just to inform the reader, you can sometimes just write 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and then 60, because you're not ever going to get in trouble for over-labeling stuff that's correct. So there you go. That would be completely right because we have all our construction lines, labels, everything double-checked.